Hello everyone, my name is Katie and welcome back to my channel. So in today's video I'm reacting to the new Motionless in White single, Afraid of the Dark. I cannot express how excited I am to listen to this today because I've been a fan of Motionless in White since like the Creatures era, back in 2010, 2011 when I was just a little teenager, like barely a teenager. I was very young and they kind of like formed my music taste over the years. They were one of my first metalcore bands I really delved into. And I've loved watching their progression over the years and watching how they've become really mainstream successful. I hear their songs on the radio and different things like that. I never would have thought that if you asked me back when I was 13. I thought Motionless in White would always kind of be this more underground metalcore band. And in a way, I feel like over time they've set a trend that a lot of bands have followed. I feel like they kind of made a blueprint for modern metalcore. And a lot of bands started trying to kind of sound like Motionless in White, and it's just impressive the influence that they've had over time, and I can't believe they're still putting out stuff. It's definitely been a few years now, and their last album was so popular, so successful. It was probably like their peak of mainstream popularity. It's strange because the last album I didn't really care for as much, but I still very much like followed everything, watched the music videos, and like tried to keep up. I've always just been like a big supporter of this band, no matter what they do and no matter if it's my favorite work they've done or not. I feel like I'm always kind of on track with what they're releasing, so I can't wait to listen to this new song today. I'm gonna be honest, I'm a little worried that I'm not gonna like it that much, just because I feel like they did start going this direction a little bit of capitalizing on that mainstream success and becoming a little bit generic at times, but I really hope that's not what happens today. This is a new era, a new comeback, and gosh, I really hope they just blow me away and exceed my expectations with this one. Okay, so this is Afraid of the Dark by Motionless in White. I'm really hoping that it's not going to be as much of a ballad. I feel like they kind of went down that Breaking Benjamin ballad theme for a while with songs like Another Life, but they got really successful with those songs, and I kind of miss that like really heavy borderline deathcore like Creatures era Motionless in White. I feel like right now is a good time to bring back that style. Anyways, let's listen to the song. Enough yapping. We do have like the keyboard, you know. I always liked that Motionless in White had like the keyboard and the synth thing going on. It's like club goth, you know? Ooh, okay. I like it. Wow. That's a little deathcore, blackened deathcore. A little bit black metal screams. I like that. Ooh. I really... Oh. It has like that classic metalcore riff going on. Aww. This reminds me of something on their other songs. What is it? This is so metalcore. OG metalcore. It reminds me of their song 570. Oh. This is the Motionless in White I love. I like the lyrics. Oh. I am feeling this. That's so pretty. Yes! Okay, I have to pause this to collect my thoughts or I'm just gonna be too ADHD about this. Okay, so this is very much giving older style Motionless in White, which I really love. We had like the Breaking Benjamin-esque chorus, which is gonna satisfy the fans that really love that stuff. And it's very beautiful and melodic and emotional. I really like these lyrics. They're like uplifting. The metalcore guitar riff is really getting me. It reminds me of 570, which is another song from like quite a few albums back now. It just has that classic metalcore riff style that was really popular in like the mid 2010s, or no, actually before that, like 2005 to 2010 had this very specific riff style. Bands like Bullet for My Valentine were doing this a lot, and like old school Motionless in White had it. It's got some heavier stuff. We got like deathcore drumming and like really nice screams. We're not even 2 minutes into the song. Wow. These lyrics are so good. Yeah, get those lighters out, y'all. It's so pretty. Wow. I love this. I did not expect to love this as much as I do right now. Something about this feels more mature. Aww. Yeah, I love that. Something about this feels more mature. I know that Chris Motionless is getting a little bit older now. He's probably like closer to 40. I feel like he's much more like he's found himself, if that makes sense. These lyrics sound like someone who's finally like found their meaning and their purpose and like has let go of a lot of trauma and things that were holding them back in a way. And I've just always loved him as a frontman and a vocalist, and he's great. And like something about this is making me feel like a teenager again. I'm watching someone who was my hero in my teen years like come into himself, and this is beautiful. Love this. Is there gonna be a breakdown? Yeah. Please be good. Ooh. Pretty nasty. Yeah. We gotta have the bleg, you know. You guys know how I feel about the blegs, but... Ooh. Oh, that's a banging beat. Oh, I like that. That's so much giving Devil's Night era Motionless in White. Oh, so dramatic. I love it. I live for this. Oh, the callback to Creatures. This is so pretty. I'm so proud of this man. I feel emotional a little bit. Aww. It's like heavy, but I feel the emotions a lot. These lyrics are so uplifting. It's kind of what I needed to hear at this stage in my life, if that makes sense. Okay, so wow, that just made me feel like a teenager in a way. I was kind of like, it felt like a song to my past self, if that makes sense. It's like telling my past self, you know, you're an adult now and everything got better and you don't have to be afraid of the dark anymore. I actually very much, wow, that was incredible. Lyrically speaking, it very much spoke to me. I feel like this was the perfect time for me to hear a song like this. It's like very hopeful. You can overcome your demons and your struggles, and it's cool looking up to people like Chris Motionless and watching how he's been so vulnerable and open about his, you know, struggles in life through his music, and kind of watching that progression over time. I feel like he's finally in a place now where it's less about the depression of it all and more about how he overcame it. That actually really meant a lot to me. And let's go ahead and talk about the music side of it too, because that was really cool. We had some like more heavy moments. It reminded me of like the Immaculate Misconception era when they were doing a little bit of the heavier like drumming, like death metal drumming, deathcore style. The screams were really cool. It was like borderline black metal, like screeching type of screams. so cool. I'm so glad Chris is back to doing that stuff more, and I hope they do that more on the upcoming album. That would be so cool. And his singing vocals have gotten so much better over the years. I've always been kind of like critical of his voice. Sometimes it could be a little bit whiny, and it had that sort of like old emo sound to it that I never really enjoyed that much, but I feel like his singing has improved a lot, and I just feel like this is the like fully matured version of this band. You know, they've went through a lot of lineup changes over the years and all of that. This feels like this is Motionless in White. Like, this is really who they were meant to be. This is who Chris Motionless was meant to be. I can't wait to hear more stuff from them in this new era. Like, I was a little bit worried that Chris would go down this line with his lyrics of being a little bit corny and generic and like call the emotional stuff corny, if you will, but it really did like touch something within me, which doesn't happen much with modern music anymore. So I'm impressed and shocked. I didn't think I would enjoy this much. I was so worried that I was going to kind of feel the way I did about the last album they put out. I didn't hate it by any means, but I remember just being kind of like nonchalant, indifferent about it. I don't think that's going to happen this time around if more of the songs are like this one. It was the perfect balance of so many sounds. You had that Breaking Benjamin sound that I kept talking about, which is part of their kind of like signature sound at this point. So it's good that they still include that stuff. And it had the metalcore stuff, the deathcore stuff, a little bit of everything. I really loved that bridge moment. That was like beautiful. The breakdown was really cool. It had like a unique sound. It didn't sound so much like a generic breakdown. I love that they're still incorporating like keyboard and synth. They've always had this sort of like club goth vibe, like 80s dance goth thing going on. That's always very much been the Motionless in White thing. And I love that they've kept that over the years, and I love that they still do like the face paint and the makeup and everything. Like, they've done a good job keeping their brand while still evolving and changing over the years. This band and their frontman could absolutely teach a masterclass on how to stay relevant and grow in your career. They've been at this for over 20 years now. I just love this band. I'm sure this review has a lot of personal bias in it, but I really don't care because I love having bands that I ride with throughout my life and kind of age with and get to know over the years and follow their journey and emotional struggles and the high moments and the low moments. It just feels like bands like this can really connect with their audiences, and it feels like we're all sort of a community together. So yeah, that was Afraid of the Dark. Let me know in the comments what you think of this new song. Are you a Motionless in White fan or not so much? Let me know everything down below, and thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, make sure you hit the like button and subscribe for more, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!